What makes an exceptional presentation? Obviously, it needs to provide plenty of data to support the presenter's primary objective. But believe it or not, the heart of the presentation, the gist, the meat, the essence of it, isn't what makes audience sit up and take notice. It doesn't matter how flashy or informative a presentation, even one designed with PowerPoint alternative might be. It is a strong opening and closing that will make an audience care. Without this key element and slide to represent each, all the research and preparation put into presentation are for naught. An effective presentation will start out strong and end on a powerful note. Attracting audience members' attention from the beginning of your presentation is what is there is any hope of getting them to care about what you have to say. Once they have turned you out, it's all over. Therefore, make a bold statement, intrigue them, and stimulate their curiosity of what will come next. According to Dorian Prince, the president of Well Said, being an author of Well Said, Presentation and Conversation That Get Results, when we speak, we only have about 60 seconds to capture an audience's attention, establish our credibility, formalities, and audience to our topic, and motivate it to listen. You need to put the art in the start, the most important part of the work, Price told Business Insider. At the same time, the end of a presentation is the best chance to leave an impression of the audience. Don't just describe your final point, then let your presentation trail off, leaving audience to guess what you are done. A powerful presentation ending will include calls to action, vision of the future, and words to live by. So, opening a presentation by saying good morning, introducing yourself, thanking your audience for coming, or maybe apologizing for some small technical problem with audio, asking if the audience in the back seat can hear you is clearly not a strong opening.
Good morning. My name is Muhammad Jamaluddin, and I'm here to talk to you about how Target Rich Plus software is changing the way business manage data for their customer and product.
What's wrong with this opening? It is short, direct, and boring. Let's see how might it sound.
Did you know that 30% of India's retailers rely on Customex Pro for customer management? By 2030, that number is expected to spike by 15%. 45% of those same retailers today using this platform to track sales and marketing efforts still experience slow connection speeds and platform crashes. This is why I urge you to consider adopting Target Rich Plus for your customer management, which already boasts a much lower percentage rate of crashing and sluggishness.
Well, now that's a good opening. Okay, let's see how all of these presenters gain the attention from the audience, starting from their opening.
Good morning. Sometime in the early 1980s, a business traveler called a low-cost carrier called People Express to reserve a flight. He was kept on hold for so long, he thought to himself, either this airline is incredibly busy or incredibly inefficient. Needless to say, the flight was never booked, and People Express went out of business in 1987. The name of the business traveler was Richard Branson, who, recognizing a great business opportunity when he saw it, went on to launch Virgin Atlantic Airlines. And the rest, of course, is history. But my question to you is, just how bad does your customer service have to be to turn a potential client into a competitor?
There was a great book published a few years back called The Wisdom of Crowds by James Surowiecki. In it, he refers to the popular TV quiz show Who Wants to Be a Millionaire, which I'm sure you've all seen. As you may know, contestants can get help with questions they can't answer by either phoning a friend or asking the audience. As you might expect, calling an intelligent friend helps, 65% of the time, in fact. But here's the interesting thing. The studio audience isn't selected on the basis of their intelligence. So how often do you think they're able to answer the question correctly?
48%.
25%?
33%?
The answer is 91% of the time. Statistically, that's just amazing, and it proves the power of teams.
I want to say a few things about winning. Did you know that in all the major golf tournaments of the last 25 years, the margin of victory has been less than 3 strokes? In Formula One motor racing so far this season, the average time difference between first and second place has been just over 7.5 seconds. And remember last Summer Olympics? In the men's 100 meters butterfly, the American swimmer won by 1/100th of a second. 1/100th. It was so close that the Serbian team who won silver even filed a protest. These days, in business as in sport, the difference between winning and losing is practically 0. But not quite. In every case, the winner has that vital edge. The figures I'm going to show you this afternoon demonstrate that we too have that marginal but vital edge.
If you are giving a presentation in English, then you definitely want people to remember what you say at the end. And this means your closing must be powerful. You have worked hard on your presentation. You search for the information online. You couldn't sleep at night. You felt nervous about making mistakes. You spent hours preparing. You reviewed the grammar, the vocabulary. You worried about someone's asking a questions. You practice, and practice more. And now, it is the last 2 minutes. This is the last opportunity for your audience to hear your key point. It is the last chance you have to help your audience remember your comments. A closing in a presentation should be short and clear. It should summarize your key point, and most importantly, it should be powerful. So there are 3 strategies to close your presentation powerfully. Use these 3 strategies in your conclusion too. Number 1, they capture your audience attention. Number 2, get your audience to focus and remember your key points. And the last, help your audience connect with you and your topic. And your presentation powerfully. Number 1, include a call to action or CTA. Is there something you want your audience to do or think after your presentation? Do you want them to take action? Tell your audience exactly what you want them to do with a call to action. Here is my example.
After you finish today's lesson, please take 2 minutes to leave a comment about your experience with presentation. You can share your thoughts or ask questions in the comment section at the bottom of this lesson. It's the perfect place to join a discussion on this topic.
Number 2, end with a powerful or inspirational quote. Is there one thing you really want your audience to remember? Or is there a specific feeling you want your audience to have after your presentation? Using a powerful quote can help you do that. Here are some of the example quotes that might help people be prepared to take action or to think differently. But remember, always match the quote or statistic to your topic.
In the end, we will remember not the words of our enemies, but the silence of our friends. Sometimes we stare so long at a door that is closing that we see too late the one that is open.
Number 3, add a surprising fact or statistic. Is there something you'd love for your audience to think about after your presentation? Is there a statistic or fact that will help someone remember your key point? A surprising fact can also help re-engage your audience. it will snap their attention back to you.
Did you know that the human brain's capacity is limitless? That's great news, right? But did you also know that a person is likely to remember only 25% of presentation after 24 hours?
Aha, that is what is so important to have a powerful ending. Remember, the key is to find a statistic or fact that connect directly to your topic. After you have watched the video and reviewed the lesson, I'd love to hear from you. Tell me about the best presentation you ever had. Who gave the presentation and why do you remember it? Thank you so much for joining me. I'm Desi Tricayaningati from PPNS. Goodbye.